Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and young minds, ignited minds. Being the last speaker and on the same subject of renewable energy transition makes the thing difficult. So I'm going to deviate quite from my written speech or talk. What I like most is that seeing such young minds, I'm happy that my average age is coming down. So I think that's a takeaway from here. When I came this morning and things started, and they were talking about CSR and climate and whatnot, believe me, I'll be truthful to say that I came with minimum expectation. And I'm happy to say that I'm going with maximum satisfaction when I go out from here. Thank you all of you, sir, who taught us quite a bit in the morning, other than a concentrated subject on renewable energy. Now, few thoughts rather than subject matter. Somebody said thermal is not all that bad. No problem at all. I think we have to live with thermal. Without oil, coal and gas, we would not be here where we are today. But the point is that we are in energy transition, and the transition would have to go well. Now, it is a fact that solar energy, which is getting a big boost, consumes a lot of land. One gentleman talked about the issue of conserving nature, and also talked about GIB, the Great Indian Bustard in Rajasthan and Gujarat. But I think, I do not want you to carry this message that this particular industry is not eco-friendly. Number one, let me quote. I was in Visakhapatnam last week, where we had the partnership summit of Government of India organized by CII. And there was a fireside chat between the Director General of WTO with Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, Director General of CII. And one of the things she was asked was on artificial intelligence and climate change. I can't remember that lady's name, obviously. She's what I would call a black. And two things she gave, which I think were powerful statements. Number one, she says, I come from a farming community. And when I go back to my village and talk to the villagers say, this year, we had too much of rain. This year, we didn't have rain. We suddenly found sea was going back and then hitting us back. Why all this? It just shows that over the years, you call it pollution through thermal, through construction, you call what you want. The fact of the matter is climate change and global warming is for real. You have to accept it. And you have to have energy transition as one of the goals to move forward. Sir was saying companies who are moving away. We had the Eastern Coalfield gentleman and some other person from the oil company. Today, Exxon, Mobil, they're all going towards RE. It's quite natural that in this transition, certain things which you had, which was useful to you 20 years back, is not there today. Who would use a pager today when you have a mobile? Who would use a camera, expensive camera, when your mobile phone is able to do all that work? So I think, it's not just energy transition we are talking about. We are talking about a transition in totality. And somebody was saying, what happens to so much of land that is being taken away by solar projects? It has just started happening. I have my industry colleague, senior Mr. Kashyap here. I'm happy to say that wind projects, especially wind projects, they can coexist with agriculture. If you go to Spain, Denmark, and many of the countries, you will find most of the farm owners are wind farm or windmill owners are farmers. You have crops that can be grown while the windmill is operating. You have no thing. The only thing is the height should not be such that it will interfere with the wind. Similarly, for solar, one of the new emerging technology is to have agricultural and solar together, where you have agriculture on the ground and you have solar panels at a higher height, where you can do farming below, and the panels which you clean, panels require cleaning, that water can be used for helping the agriculture. And there are agriculturists have shown that there are so many shade-loving crops. And there is a pilot project going very close to Delhi, I'm sure. Kashyap Sahab will know. Now, one of the greatest thing, I'm not here to talk politics or about national leaders, but let's take one example of rooftop solar, which is called under the PM Muft Bijli Yojana. In that, we are talking about a 3 kilowatt rooftop solar per house, and it is going to take care of 1 crore houses, which means that you are talking about 30 gigawatts of solar power produced from rooftops. These are the kind of innovative things one should talk about. Now, as students, one of the things I would like to tell you all is, all of you, I took the opportunity of talking to a couple of students in the afternoon just after lunch, and I heard that they're all from Indira University, right? And you're into MBA and electives of marketing and finance and operation research and whatnot. Till year before last year, any placement was primarily from the banking sector and from the IT sector. Am I right? Right. I can tell you, believe you me, mark my words, the future is into energy industry. And it is going to be in the industry of offbeat into renewable energy industry, where you are looking at environment, as Sir said about green hydrogen, methane, ammonia. That's one of the future. Now let me get into another aspect of artificial intelligence. Today, Sir was saying, MSCDCL Sir was talking about solar and wind. Solar is available in the morning and solar is not there in the night, and then we are getting into RTC power, we are getting into fixed dispatch of renewable energy, FDRE, am I right, sir? These are the we were talking about. But the point is forecasting that easy? I wish it was like a astrologer who tells you what's going to happen tomorrow. He doesn't tell you what's happening today, but he can tell you what's tomorrow, and you believe him, and then you continue, right? In the same way, believe me, artificial intelligence is of the future, where there will be technologies available where forecasting would be near accurate. Renewable energy, MSDCL people, let's say 5 years back or 10 years back, when we went to see them, the first complaint they have is, you give us power when we don't want. You are not able to give us power when we want. So your power cannot be relied upon. So we would much rather stick to a base load of thermal power. I think that chapter is now changing. We are now getting into accuracy. And one more thing about renewable energy industry is that of, and I'm happy to tell you this, I have been in the sector for the past 30 years. We started this program of wind energy in 1990. Somebody today talked about Swachh Bharat, one of the programs of the Prime Minister of India. And one of the slogans of the Prime Minister of India is Make in India. Am I right? Atmanirbhar. Believe me, Make in India, what is being talked today, started for the wind industry in 1990s. Today, as we are talking today, almost 80 to 90% of all components, there are about 4,000 components that go into a windmill. Almost 70 to 80% is localized. It's manufactured in India. And all the components, believe me, I'm talking about people who would like to become entrepreneurs tomorrow, they are made from the MSME sector. MSME sector is the backbone of the industrial production. It is not, I'm not wanting to take names. Somebody said, we are not supposed to take names and it is A to Z. You take A for Apple or A for anything else, or to Z for whatever. But the fact of the matter is, nobody can deny that without MSME industry, it won't happen. And because of this, Make in India, and also the fact that we have such engineering skills at relatively lower cost, we are lower cost than China. It is proved both by Bloomberg as well as by Global Wind Energy Council that turbines made in India and delivered is the lowest cost in the world, lower than China. Please write it down. This is the kind of demonstration this industry has been able to do. I'll come to another issue which, if there are some people from the solar industry, I'm sure they would probably say yes to me, but at the same time probably say Mr. Giri is talking nonsense. We have obsolescence that will set in. What do you do with a motorcycle after 10 years? Either you sell it to a bakra or you sell it to, or you scrap it. What happens to that scrap? Just think, gentlemen, or ladies, boys and girls, how do you think? What will happen? That problem is called end of cycle or circular economy. Believe me, in solar industry, the way we are going, we are looking at almost about 300, 400 gigawatts of solar. Those modules have so many components inside them, primarily of silica. If they are buried into the ground as a landfill, we are committing another suicide. So circular economy or recycling of solar, how you can separate the glass, the plastic, the nickel, the silver. And I'm happy to say, since I'm primarily from the wind background, so I will be able to talk more about wind. You take, for instance, a windmill. In a windmill, everything is either ferrous or non-ferrous. Whether it's copper, aluminum, steel, whatever. The only thing that is thermoset, is your fiberglass blades. Now, what do you do with a blade which is 120 meters in length and it has lived its life? And I'm happy to again say that I'm taking the name so that you will remember what Indian industry can do. A company like Aditya Birla sitting in Mumbai, they have a technology. A thermoset is where you cannot reset it again. A thermoset plastic is something where your plastic bottles can be recycled, but in a thermoset it can't be done. A blade is made with glass and resin. They cannot be separated. But now they have bought through their R&D a resin by which the glass and resin can be separated. And the leftover glass will have 90% modular strength of the original glass, which can go for other products, whether it is a bathtub or a helmet or a door or whatever in the building industry. So this is the kind of things which we have been able to do. And I'm happy to say that earlier wind and solar were seen as competitors. Today, wind and solar are companions as if they were locked in marriage. And we have a kid who has joined the wind solar, which is the battery storage. So if you have the wind and solar combined with the battery storage, we would be able to help our friend from MSc DCL to give RTC power. I know that the government is committed to 100 gigawatts of power of thermal. But the fact of the matter is, a super thermal plant, if it is put up today, I hope I can be questioned if I am wrong. Today, any thermal plant which is put up, the cost of power shall not be less than 7 or 8 rupees a kilowatt hour. Whereas an RTC could be got for about, say, 5. So, what arithmetic are we doing? Do we go for 5 rupees or do we go for 8 rupees? I think the choice is yours. And finally, gentlemen, it's skilling. This industry requires skilled people. Give you a small example. Sir is from Purva, where they are putting up large plants. If you work in a company like them, and if they are doing a project of, let us say, 200 megawatts, either of solar or wind solar hybrid, on a, let's say, a thumb rule of 5 crores per megawatt, And if you are put as a manager to carry out that entire project as a business manager with your business management background, you are going to be a leader for an investment on behalf of your company with responsibility, accountability, deliverables for 1,000 crore investment. Tell me which company can give you that kind of a responsibility when you join a multinational? You will be answerable still to your boss. Here, you're going to actually demonstrate and tell your boss, listen, this is what I have done. What are you going to do for me? You will be able to speak with authority. Finally, gentlemen, since I do not want to get into too many things, India, I'm happy to say, as a global player in RE industry, with the factories both for solar as well as for wind, we have more than 16 R&D industries in the country, which is a back office to almost all the European companies. If you find that the best techs of US, be it Sundar Pichai or Nadala, you have Nadalas in India as young people who are working. So please remember that RE transition will happen with technology and in rapid progress. RE is adaptable, it's scalable, it's sustainable, and it is certainly affordable. Please remember, when you work for an RE industry, you are not working for your bread. You are a part of climate change and global warming. And let's all take a pledge. Either way, whether it is collecting plastic waste or whatever, let us be a part of the climate change, save the planet Earth from its crumbling, and let's ensure that our coming generations are protected from this crisis of global warming and climate change. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience. Jai Hind.